So yeah,
We were talking about how great I was.
if we switch gears a little bit, right? So I would do this program at NYU where I would sit and we would tabling, that's what they call it. So I would set a table with a big whiteboard and students could stop by and ask me questions. So a lot of the one basic question that I would get all the time is, someone will come over, oh hell, hey, I heard about the freshman 15 that I'm supposed to put on 15 pounds. I don't want to do that. I don't really know what to do when I go to the gym, but I want to start going to the gym and strength training. Like, what should I do? And I understand as a trainer, like, it's because I would be like,
big question.
It's a big question. And a lot of times I would sit there and I would say, well, how much time do you have? Because we need to kind of talk this out. But put you under a little bit of pressure, right? I'm a student, I have a class in like 10 minutes. So I stop by the table like, where should I start? Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you're saying I'm that person.
No,
and you're asking me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I wasn't understanding where this was going. Sorry. One more time.
So I'm at the
Okay, so I'm sitting at this table.
And
I am supposed to be the person that's answering all these questions.
So you're this amazing, very handsome, 6'5" black trainer.
Wait.
African American trainer sitting in the NYU lobby.
I got it. How do
I walk in, you look amazing.
Okay.
I walk in and I say, hey, I want to start going to the gym. I'm not too familiar with like what to do. Like, where should I start?
Okay. Well, that's a good question. What do you want to achieve?
Okay, just general fitness. Like, I don't really have much upper body strength, but I just, I want to get stronger.
Okay.
And maybe put on a little bit of muscle.
Okay, so goals are to increase muscle mass and strength. Okay. Have you had any experience in the athletic field or in training or gym life whatsoever?
I played basketball in high school. We didn't really lift weights much, but it's been a couple years.
Okay. And as a physical therapist, I'm always going to ask, do you have any injuries, yada, yada, yada. That's just my nature in asking. But I would say, all right, if you have goals to gain muscle and strength, then we talk about, okay, what's your schedule like? How many times do you think you can get to the gym?
Probably 2 or 3 times a week.
2 or 3 times a week?
Yeah.
And how long in those 2 or 3 times a week?
Probably around an hour.
Okay. To be honest, you can make that work. You really can. 2 to 3 hours a week, I think, is giving yourself a fighting chance that maybe a lot of people aren't even giving themselves, right? Because that's just what you have and you're going to make the most of it. But how do you make the most of it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not like an advanced gym goer or, have specific goals of competing or anything like that, and you just want to build a general strength and build, then you're really going to want to maximize your time by hitting your full body in those days.
Okay.
That you can get there. It would just ensure the fact that, one, you will be a bit more efficient in how you're working if you only have a certain amount of time to do so.
Yeah.
So I would say full body workouts 2 to 3 times a day, and I don't know, what else do you have?
So there's a couple of things you did there that I really like, right? That being a trainer, I was holding back my smile because I'm that's what I be trying to do too. So one, you try to give me more details. So you asked me what my goals were and try to make me give you a detailed description of my goals. Then you try to push me into, well, how many times you're going to the gym, how much time you have at the gym. You're really starting to try to build a schedule for me as well.
Right.
And then, it's the same thing that I would tell people all the time is that, if you're going to the gym a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, that you really want to focus on those full body workouts. And that's essentially what I would pretty much tell the students, and then if we had time, we would do a very quick and minimal assessment. Probably an assessment that, as a physical therapist, you'd be like, "Come on, Keith." But you know,
it depends on the situation. You know, like that conversation can go into so many places. You know, that conversation can go into that person's insecurities, or like, why do they want to like build strength, and then like their motive behind it, and you know, is it for general health and well-being, or is it because they've been picked on in their life before, and they feel like size is like ultimately important because then they don't have to worry about anything. So there's so much, you know,
it's
you can delve into on someone's motives and reasons, and then curtail. Like, it's a huge question, and you have to, unfortunately, your training should mirror your goals.
Yeah.
And all be all. If you're going to be a marathon runner, you're probably not going to do 3 reps of your 3 max weight back squats. There would be no correlation there. But if you want general health and fitness, lose a few pounds and put on some weight, you're going to do a mix of strength training, a mix of cardiovascular work, and make sure that your joints are healthy. You know, so so it's such a crazy question because it can go into so many fields for each person.
And that's been like, that was like kind of like the funny thing, because, you know, someone came and asked me like a very specific question, like, I don't know, like people stop by the table and ask, like, "Oh, I bought this protein shake. Like, what do you think?" And I would, you know, we would go through the ingredients, right? It's a very like, okay, detailed question. You know, and then people would stop by and be like, "Oh, I kind of want to start like where do I start?" And it seems like a simple question, but there's so many different like layers that you got to kind of unpeel, and start to get some details in there. So it was, you know, I would, every time someone would ask me that question, I would just pull out a piece of paper and say, you know, what was your name again? And then we would start getting down those details, the goals, and that's basically the same intake form that, you know, I have clients, you know, do as well. But you got to get detail oriented. You know, like one of the things that I try to have people fill out when they, like, you know, want to do sessions is think about the days and times you're going to work out. Like, don't just say, "Oh, I'm going to start working out a couple times a week." Like,
how are you going to put it in your schedule?
Yeah, like what days? Like, you know, so like for me, like I have to think about my weeks and think about what days am I super busy with sessions, and what type of sessions are they? Like, are they group classes where I'm going to be like moving around a lot? Like maybe those are like my, you know, my joint mobilization days, or, you know, that's not going to be my main strength training day because I'm just not going to have the energy or time. So you got to think about fitting it into your schedule. So the more detailed you can be when you're thinking about, one, you know, what you're putting into your body, and like 2, like when are you going to work out? How much time are you going to work out? Like what's your, like, have a plan. Like, you know, we leave too much stuff.
And if you only have this amount of time, how are you going to make the most of it?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, if you get to the gym and you're spending 15 minutes figuring out what you're going to do.
Yeah, looking at weights. Looking at, like,
you know, that's another thing. But, you know, to be honest, that's why having a trainer, having, you know, someone that you trust to guide you is so worth it sometimes. Because at least you've talked about your goals, you've talked about your plan, and in that 1 hour that you have, you know you're optimizing everything you're doing to get towards that goal, versus maybe guessing or you know, wasting time thinking about what you should be doing. So, you know, they're hard questions and they're big questions, but they're important that people are asking them.
So. It's so funny because I've been doing some filming lately, so I've been doing like so like
we're filming right now actually. I don't know if you know, but
so like exercise like demonstrations, you know, like there's pressure now. Like I'm gonna make sure I'm doing exercises right, so like my breathing and like my technique and like everything that like I tell my class all the time. I'm like, man, some of these exercises feel so much harder than like they're supposed to, and it's like, no, like if you actually like focus in and do it right, like you can make things, you know, somewhat simple things very difficult.
If my patients let me, I'll do a full hour on range of motion, joint mobility, joint joint health work, and they'd be surprised. They'll be sweating at the end.
First of all.
And at the end.
First of all. So, I met Anna at a seminar, and she was like at the seminar, but contributed to the seminar. And then I went to a seminar that she and another amazing trainer, Sam, ran. And like I said, she's someone that I lean on, for advice and also for different techniques. She's very educated, very smart, very strong. So, yeah. And then,
what else?
But so we meet up today. We're going through a warm up, right? I always kind of let Anna like lead the workouts, right? So I'm like, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to pick up, trying to be a sponge. So we're like going through the warm up, but she's just like flowing through some stuff, like floating through it. And then she looks up at me and she's like, "Why are you sweating so much?" I was like, "Yo, I'm working bad hard over here."
Dripping.
Like dripping on the floor. She's like, "No, because you just sink into the stretch and then you want to like activate and contract." And I'm like, "Yo, this is not," so, like, it was a
But that's how it can be all relative, right?
Yeah.
So like something that's easy for another person or unattainable can be very hard work for someone else.
Yeah.
But that doesn't diminish the importance of doing that work or putting that effort into it, no matter what stage you're in or where you're going with it. It's just, that idea of understanding where you are, number one, understanding where you want to be, and then if you can't personally, because of your own lack of knowledge, figure out a plan to get there, then finding someone that you trust that is skilled and knowledgeable to help you get there as efficiently as possible.
Yeah.
I think that, we all need help sometimes, we all need guidance. I work with my friends all the time to improve my level of skill, to be pushed that much harder. And I'm constantly taking continuing education courses because there is so much knowledge out there that to think that I even knew it all would be, it would just be dumb because let's be real. But so the starting point is all relative, the end point is the goal, and how we get there is we just want to get there as efficiently as possible. So.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you go. I feel like I've been holding you hostage.
It's okay.
But I really appreciate you chatting with me.
Yeah.
I think in our conversations, there's always little jewels that I pick up from you. And Maine was with us.
I know.
She is now passed out.
She's so sweet.
On the road,
no, it's an honor for me to be here and share with you, and I'm glad that you value my opinion and that we're able to speak so freely about some of these subjects, just because it means so much to you and I, and it's stuff that we live on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So kind of talking about these subjects isn't like so foreign, and it's nice to be able to share that information with whoever wants it.
Yeah. That's it. Sweat us with thoughts. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.